look at this. Check engine light. Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is CARISTA. This is the old model. CARISTA have very kindly sent me the newest, latest and greatest model. Quite enamoured with the look of this thing. But ultimately it's an ODB port computer. You plug it into your vehicle and you can use your phone to analyse what's going on, what error reports might be coming through, also make changes and reset faults and that kind of thing. If you're unlucky like me, occasionally you get the check engine light come on, just quite randomly, and that happens for me probably about 3 or 4 times a year. This CARISTA unit here with a full pro license is
for 12 months for $29.99. That is fantastic.
Anyway, all of that said, let's get this plugged into the car and see what fun stuff we can do with this wonderful new CARISTA module.
CARISTA. Let's fire up CARISTA. Let's connect. There we go, happy days. So we've got the CARISTA Evo. Allow CARISTA to find Bluetooth devices. Yes, we need to allow it to do that. And boom, there we go. An advert for CARISTA App Pro for 12 months for $29.99. That is fantastic. That's actually less than what you would pay if you were going to go into a garage and have them plug a computer into your vehicle. All right, so cool. There we go. We can see the VIN number of the vehicle. We can see the voltage of the vehicle. My vehicle is a T6 camper van. So we have the ability now to be able to customize our vehicle. So it's just going to do a little bit of work checking various options. So all of the different customizations are on here, and there's an absolute load of them. So we've got chassis and engine customizations, dings and warnings. That's one that I actually disabled, my seatbelt warning. We do a lot of camping in the camper van and driving across the campsite at sort of 10 miles an hour, 5 miles an hour. It just doesn't make sense to have ding, 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 or put your seatbelt on. So I've been a bit naughty. I've disabled my seatbelt warning. I didn't realize there was a washer fluid warning. I'd like to enable that actually, please. It does say, please note that this customization requires a washer fluid level sensor. I don't know if I have one of those or not. But we'll save that. Cool. Chassis and engine. Disable brake pad warning light. So that could be really useful if you know you're getting a little bit low on brake pads and you just want to disable that warning light. But a little bit naughty. So driver assist. Hill start assist, that's quite cool. I didn't realize we had the option to be able to adjust this kind of stuff. When I pull up on a hill and I put my foot on the brake, it activates like another little brake for me, which is actually quite good. I'm going to leave that alone because I'm quite happy with the way that works at the moment. Instruments, displays and navigation. Gauge needle sweep at startup. Yes, so we get to see the gauge needles flicking around at startup, which I quite like. Developer menu screen. Now that's interesting. So I might have a play with that at some point. I don't think I'm going to do it at the moment. There's a start screen logo. That's turned off at the moment. I'm okay without a start screen logo. Audio level gain on FM, AM, sat nav. Microphone sensitivity, that's incredible. So this is the internal microphone sensitivity. We have the ability to be able to adjust that. That is fantastic. Multifunction display, maximum time between time-dependent inspections, 365 days. Refuel quantity, Bluetooth availability, so we can actually disable Bluetooth, which is interesting. Overlay car overview when rear camera is activated. I don't actually have a rear camera on this vehicle. Allow car settings, allow tuner settings, media settings, phone settings. So this is allowing all of those things to interrupt whilst the car is in motion. So yeah. You could say, for instance, you could turn off media and that kind of thing to stop media perhaps from distracting a driver. Show follow traffic regulations disclaimer. Yeah, okay. No to that one, thank you. Show AM frequency. Yeah, okay. aux input is currently disabled. Driving school mode, interesting. Off-road information, instrument lights dimming, instrument light dimming sensitivity options down here at the bottom. I mean, that's quite interesting, isn't it? You have the ability to be able to adjust your instrument light dimming sensitivity. There's already a wheel underneath the dash on my vehicle, which gives you the ability to bring the instrument lights up. But obviously there's some kind of light dependent resistor in there that automatically adjusts the dimming of your instrument lights, so that they're not too blindingly bright when you're driving at night. That's quite interesting. I didn't realize that we had that function. So language and units, I don't really want to make any changes to any of my language and units. We've got date, month, year, and obviously we want things in miles per gallon, and we want things in bar, and the volume display in units is gallons. And yeah, temperature display is in Celsius or degrees centigrade, which is absolutely perfect. Light bulb checks. Now that's an interesting one. Occasionally you get a bulb blown. Bulb check license plate lights. That's currently disabled. Interesting. We've got the option to be able to enable that. So lots and lots of day running lights. Exterior, interior lights, locking, automatic locking, beep and blink. Now this one really helped my friend the other day. He gets home at 2-3 o'clock in the morning sometimes, and he said when he pressed his button to lock his car, the car would beep the horn a couple of times, and he said it was a little bit annoying, and he felt sort of conscious that he wanted to disable that function so that he wasn't keeping his neighbours, so he wouldn't disturb his neighbours when he got home at that time in the morning. So yeah, that's a really good function there. So if we get in here, a beep when alarm is armed. I've actually got that set to no. In fact, I'm going to set that to yes, please. I do want it to beep when when I press the button and arm the alarm. Blink turn signals when locking, unlocking with remote. Yeah, so you can get the indicators to flash. So basically, when you lock your system, when you lock your vehicle, you could have it do absolutely nothing. It would just be a silent lock. But I like that feedback. My friend doesn't like that feedback. Parking sensors I don't have. Trunk mirrors. I don't actually activate side mirror heaters when rear window defroster is on. That's currently set to no. I'm going to keep that as it stands as well. That's a really useful facility in this vehicle, is a heated front window and heated side mirrors. Windows and sunroof. Let's have a look. Open close windows via long press on remote. So this is another really good function that comes with the T6 camper van, or the T6 the VW T6 vans. If you press and hold the button on the keys, it will either lower all of the windows, or it will close all of the windows, depending on whether you're unlocking or locking your vehicle. That's something that quite a lot of people don't realize happens. Very useful functionality. And you have the ability to be able to turn that on and off here as well. So that's all really quite cool. Anyway, lots and lots and lots of, really lots and lots of options here. Horn works even when ignition is off. Oh, that's quite good. Yes, please. Because the amount of times that you're sitting there in the car, for instance, and you just need to get somebody's attention, yeah, that you absolutely do want the horn to be enabled when the ignition is off. Enable smart key buttons when ignition is on. I don't actually understand what a smart key button is. I'll have to look that up. Anyway, as you can see, there's an awful lot of customization in here. And that's just the first thing on the list. So let's just get rid of that for a moment. Right, so let's have a look at our system. Let's actually run a diagnostic here and see what the system says about my vehicle. So it's going to scan ECUs, and it's already found a fault, which is a little bit nerve-wracking. So we've got 14 ECUs that have now been scanned, and we've found 2 faults. One of those is an engine fault, which is all a little bit scary. But if we just run up, so cruise control's okay, battery regulator looks good, central electronics good, parking assist and steering all good, heated and air conditioning, good immobilizers, infotainment, instrument clusters, airbags, steering angle. There's a steering angle sensor. I've been through this before, and actually so it cost me 50 quid. I remember when I replaced the steering wheel, it cost me 50 quid to get that steering angle sensor reset, and you can do that in this app for 30 quid. I mean, that's just silly, isn't it? So yeah, as I say, I go to a garage probably 2-3 times a year, and end up having to pay somebody to plug their device into my vehicle, 50 quid a go normally, and this will just take care of it for you. Right, let's have a look at my engine fault. Okay, what have we got? We've got a catalyst efficiency below the threshold. Let's have a look at that. Priority 2, malfunction frequency counter says it's happened 7 times, so that's quite interesting. It happened at 58,000 RPM, and the vehicle speed was 64 miles an hour. The coolant temperature was 90 degrees C. The air intake temperature was 10 degrees C. This all makes absolute sense. And these are the voltages and the pressures of the air. I mean, it's just incredible, isn't it? Really, what your car computer will tell you. So yeah, that's something I am aware of, and I do know that there's going to be a point in time when I need to replace my catalytic converter on this vehicle. That's an expensive job. At the minute, I'm being a bit cheeky. I'm taking the opportunity to reset that fault when it pops up. But yeah, clearly, if I look at this, I can see clearly that it's happened a number of times. I don't think this is a sensor failure. This is looking like it's perpetual, and it does look like I'm actually going to have to put my hand in my pocket one day. Yeah, again, if we look at our basic faults here, then we see that the catalyst or the catalytic converter is below its efficiency threshold. Yeah, so really useful for that. So yeah, occasionally I get service reminders, and it would be lovely to tell it to stop sending me service reminders, because I am getting the service inspection and oil change. I have recently had them done, so I'm just going to go ahead and be a little bit cheeky. I've had them done through an independent company, not through Volkswagen, so I'm just going to go ahead. You want to reset that? Yes, please. So we're just going to go ahead and reset the service indicator. So that's for the oil change, and we're also going to reset the inspection indicator as well. There we go. Absolutely magnificent. Look at this. Right. Okay. So diesel particulate filter. Right. So this gives you the ability to regenerate the DPF filter. So what it does is the vehicle then dumps fuel into the filter. This is done automatically by the car computer normally, and I know it's happening because all the fans come on and the engine revs a little bit higher, but we have the ability to be able to turn that on if we know we're going to go for a long drive. We have the ability to be able to turn that on, because ultimately when you do this, you need to be driving at least 40 miles an hour for at least 10 or 15 minutes. So if you're going to go for a motorway trip or something like that, it would be a good idea to do it. Now, here's something interesting. So we also have a soot level indicator, and the soot level indicator shows that we're 0.58 ounces, and it says here at the top, regeneration is not normally necessary at this soot level, and there's a little information button. All right, I'm just wondering if I can get any more information about that, but no. Let's just run and have a quick look. Diagnose. Yes, okay, so again we're back to the catalyst or the catalytic converter efficiency being below the threshold, and we're aware of this, and we've read all of this before. Say, for instance, you're going to buy a new vehicle. I mean, the first thing I'd want to do is plug this into a new vehicle that I was going to buy, and have it tell me what the history of that new vehicle is. So yeah, really good piece of equipment. And the other thing that this does is it gives you the ability to be able to monitor your live data. Information about your turbo, information about your wheel speeds, all of this kind of stuff, mileage information, actually live, and engine data as well, actually live on your dashboard as you're driving along. So again, a really useful piece of kit. So in summary then, having purchased the original CARISTA system, having used it for quite some time, I absolutely adore it. It's been an absolute godsend. And I will say, they're worth every penny, especially if you're getting them for sensible prices, like sort of 30, 40, 50, even I would pay up to £100 a year for having this kind of facility available to me all the time whenever I wanted it, especially if I was buying a new car, or in the case that I have had to use it when I needed to reset fault lights and that kind of thing. Well done, CARISTA. Very, very cool bit of kit. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, thanks ever so much for watching Dubious Engineering. Don't forget, do thumbs up, do subscribe, and we'll catch you again in a future video. Cheers and beers. Bye for now. Disconnect.